Hey Caesar, how's it going? Um, Checking on all the systems. The other day I had a stream and apparently my wireless uh, system got tangled up. So I just want to make sure that you guys can hear and the video's working okay. Hi Graham, Ali, how you doing? Michael, Zoulou Warriors. We'll form the bull's head and go after him. Oh, sound and video are good. Great. Um, yeah, we just updated the operating system, and maybe there were some kinks they pulled out on that. Um, Before we get started, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anything that you have questions about, or anything that I can hope to try to clarify or elucidate somehow? We had we had a story this morning. Two two really big black bears were dining on our trash cans. So we went out. Usually on Sunday, I take them up to the curb for Monday pickup, and but the bears, I guess, were in a contract dispute with the refuge company and decided to meal up right away. They were big. I was just telling my wife the other day, we haven't seen any bear or very few deer, some coyotes. Really haven't seen a lot of the bigger critters that often come by. And then here this morning was these two bears. It was, it's really funny. A lot of times, you say, shoo bear, and they'll run away. Not this time. I went out there and said, hey, bear, get out of here. And the bear gave me a look like, do we know you? I mean, it just sort of like, uh, you've interrupted, and, that's not very polite. It wasn't some some redneck deer or bear would, hey, you want to fight? Not our bears. They're Connecticut bears, and they're very proper. So anyway, there wasn't a lot for them, but that was how my day began. No, that's just it, Michael. We rarely do. Our next door neighbors, uh, they get theirs knocked over all the time. I think they have a little better cuisine. What we do in this, we have all kinds of critters in the backyard, and if we got anything that's edible, they get it first. The garbage disposal gets it, you know. So we really don't have a lot of, and then we have recycles. So there really wasn't very much for them. But of course, they don't know of our our restaurant, our green and blue restaurant serving dishes. Okay, Ali, is the tariff going to have any effect on the price of our watch? God knows. Yes, it will. I mean, we'll get a 10%. We'll get a 10% hit on it, depending on how much it's evaluated as. I think what we're going to have to do is to be very careful. This is for the ones coming into the United States. We're going to have to be very judicious so that we don't overprice ourselves. The three things that customs wants to know about watches coming into the United States is the price of the movement, the price of the case, and the price of the band. And so we want to be sure that the prices we put for those three things are not overstated. Okay. In other words, we don't want to brag that we have something more expensive than in fact it is. So that I think is for things coming in the United States. And so this way we hope to minimize um, the tariff. Now, there was some crazy talk about, oh, he's going to get, Trump wants to go get him. If you don't listen to me, we're going to have 30% tariff. I don't know why. I have no, I mean, economists are baffled by this whole thing. But anyway, uh, we can't, there's not a whole lot we can do about it except hope that, last time we held our breath for 4 years, we'll probably have to do it again. So grin and bear it. Yeah, Ali, I hope you understand all of it. Okay. Like we're not going to show off. The other thing is too is that thank God on Air Zoulou we are waiting until the 2026 GPH Grand Prix awards, and so we will not be stating a retail price that's going to be publicly announced before we get our watches, and so we can do that without having to worry of somebody saying, hey, wait a minute, the retail price is different than what you're saying. And it definitely will be, but that's, we're not paying that. I don't want to say, well, this is what we're paying when in fact we're not. By the way, too, for some reason, and this is something that we might want to kick around, for some reason, I've been getting a lot of requests for Etude number 1. And I thought, I mean, it's like the some people, as soon as they got their Etude number 2, I saw them up for sale. But I think that I don't know. There's sort of, I think there's a growing interest in Lyrique just in general, and we might try to set something up with our website so that if somebody has a watch that they want to sell, they can put it on the website, and so people can go to the website and they can put the price up there, and then if they want to have an exchange on it, they can. Or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we don't need that. We can just pop it up on eBay or wherever you want. I have no plans on ever selling any of my Lyrique watches, but apparently some other people do, and that's fine. By the way, we're getting some last second swaps. Okay. In other words, there are some people who have decided that they want to, a lot of things happen. Excuse me. That at the last minute they swapped on Etude number 2. I'm hoping that is all done because they're shipping them now, and of course we wanted to have that done before the shipment because then the person wouldn't have to get it and then ship it to somebody else. We just ship it to them initially. So the same is true if somebody wants to swap out Air Zoulou, that they decide, well, I don't want to, for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter the reason. If you want to do it, you can do it. Is to do it ahead of time, and so that then we'll just then deal with the people in between. One of the things we've yeah, actually it's below wholesale. It's at cost, at manufactured price. So, and that we have discounts on, Michael. Remember the discounts? No, we've been hit by everything. The value of the dollar has been sinking. It was Oh, let's take a look, see what it is today. It's down to 82 again. That's against 82 cents. One Swiss $1 is worth 82 Swiss francs, 82 cents in France. And we paid some of the early ones, and it was up to 84, which we saved a little money doing that. But yeah, we've got to be really smart about all of this stuff because it's real. Uh, One of the things I'm hoping against hope we can get away with, and it's not getting away so much, when they ship the repaired ones back to the US, mainly to me, I hope they don't say, well, what are the values of it? I think we can say we already paid for customs. It's already been through customs. This is just a repair under warranty, call it something like that. And so it cost us nothing except for the shipment. And so if it's the price is zero, 10% of zero, still zero. So that's that. Worst case scenario, we'll call them used watches because they're the brand new ones had a burgundy dial. I don't know. I mean, this thing is so screwed up. It's just, I don't know what, you know, sort of understanding it is one thing. Having to put up with it is something else. Um, okay. By the way, if any of you were at that, where they were buying these $1 million coins with the president's image on them, Bitcoins, that'll give you some in with them, and you might tell them, why don't you drop the Swiss watch tariffs? Okay, enough of that. Let me tell you what happened this week. In the worst way, I'm trying to get everybody's Etude number 2 shipped. Okay. The We didn't get any dials the last 2 weeks. We were supposed to get them at the end of week before last. They didn't show up. And so I thought that they would be here earlier this week. They weren't. So I wrote to Arnaud Rousselet. He's the director of Comblemont, and basically told them, look, guys, this has cost us a lot extra, and all of this stuff has happened. So let's just get this thing out off our books for both of us. Um, you can't, tell me, look, you dumb jerk, or something like that. You screwed this up. Also, from what Matthew tells me, he and Sebastian had to do some extra work that Comblemont was supposed to pay for. They didn't, and they have basically told them they won't. Which not a very good practice, but let's just hope we get the whole thing done and shipped. The good thing is the ones that have shipped look great. That from what I've seen. Okay, so that's where we are now. I guess I sent the message. Had to think about it and a lot. I sent copies to Matthew and Sebastian in case they had any comments, but they haven't had any. So everything is, I guess, okay on that. Anything else I can tell you about that? Because that's all I got on Etude number 2. Hi, John. How you doing, man? Anything else on Etude number 2? Okie doke. Let me go on then on Heure Zoulou hands. Really, I think the last thing that we don't have contracts with, uh, is the hands. Rob, we just heard from Rob. I think it took Rob 3 or 4 times for his bank to finally send the funds to AB Concept Products. Um, I'm not sure whether ones I'll have to take a look, but Rob's reported to all of the bills we paid. I think, yeah, we did. We paid the Caterins de Genève. That's FP Journ's uh, movement making, case making, dial making. He has two of them together, Boteles and Caterins. Okay, so Matthew has contacted both La Pratique and Fiedler. Um, we're waiting for a. We got the designs, the ones I showed you there of the hands, the specs on them, and now what we're waiting for are the specs from La Pratique. Now, Matteo, for those of you who don't know, is our project manager. In other words, he's the guy that is managing the getting our watch done. Okay, he's also doing the project management for Heure CET as well. CET. Okay, so I got a copy of this message that Matteo had sent to Matthew earlier last week. As in fact, I had mentioned something about um, Edenor needing copies of the hands for making sure that the hands and the shafts that the hands are going to go on were the right size, especially since we have 4 hands this time. 2 of them are which have to do with retrogrades. I don't know if that's any different or not in terms of the shafts, but it may be. So what they wanted was that they wanted the prototypes. And so this is what Matteo suggested and this was in French, where it says hands in brackets. They used needles, aiguille. So I just changed it to hands, so it's a little clearer, I guess. It says, in view of the discussion we've had about the working definitive hands, it seems reasonable that the manufacturer of the definitive hands should produce twice as many hands for the stamping and supply us with half of them unfinished so that we can use them as working hands. This should reduce the cost of the definitive hands and working hands. So I think that's moving things right along, apparently, with La Pratique. Fiedler, they've been pretty slow on the updraw for on some of the other stuff. And so we'll see how La Pratique does. If the hands look crummy, then we might just wait for Fiedler. I hate to do that because in August, everybody in Switzerland goes on vacation, so nothing gets done, at least for a period of time there. So that's pretty much where we are on that. Any questions or anything I can answer on further queries you have about that? On the buckles, no, we're getting one buckle. The double buckles, the other buckle's going to Air Suitant. If you want to have more buckles, all you got to do is take the buckle off of one and put it on another one. Okay. What I do is that when I just leave them on the original ones, and then if I need them, I'll take them off and put them on the other ones. It's not something that I'm particularly, concerned about, but, the buckle deal has gone through, and we're paying for half, and then the other half will come from the Air Citant group. Uh, and then, Rob will be handling the payments on both of those. That's a good thing. We have, Rob is sort of will be as a banker. Unfortunately, he has sort of a reluctant bank. They've never discovered, Chase Manhattan, you'd think would be really a good international one. I've had great luck with, Bank of America, which surprised me, but I'm glad I have on that. Yeah, no, Michael, we're just gonna go with everybody gets one band and one buckle. And then if you wanna get another one, you can just it's easy to take them off of one and put it on another one. So, work out. It's not gonna save us a fortune, but it'll save us some. Okay, anything you want me to check out or do, I will follow up on the thing about getting Etude number 2 done is just been burning up time and money and everything else, and grin and bear it. Yeah, where Rob, are you here? I got maybe not. Um, anyway, yeah, I thank Rob too. You have no idea how much I thank Rob. There was By the way, too, I think we're gonna be okay. I think. I'm pretty sure, I hope so. On the When we get the shipment of the watches to me from, the E2 watches, the ones that have been repaired, uh, I'm hoping that, if there is some kind of charge, I hope we'll be able to cover it with what we have. So we have a little left over, and then once everybody has their watch, I'm taking anything left, that's in my satellite account. I'm gonna ship it over to Rob, and you guys can decide what you want to do with it. I think the best thing we can do with it is simply sort of, I don't know, maybe pay off some of these other things have to deal with. I think, Matthew is very keen on us having uh, some PR company, and we've talked about that, but, that's been put off a year, and that's sort of a good thing, really, because I think give us a little more time to, plan for it. Do you know when the next payment is coming for, Zoulou? I don't. Let me, Ali, that's a good question too, because, let me check with Rob, and I'll ask him about, when the next one is coming. Um, I mean, taking a look at his thing, we have with the differences in the dollar, and this has been ever since they started this tariff nonsense. The dollar's been dropping, and like I said, it's down to 81 now. And it wasn't too long ago that it was in the 90s and even parity. So we'll just have to sort of figure that one out. I think moving forward, we might even start thinking about it in terms of Swiss francs, what we owe in Swiss francs, and then any payment we make will be equivalent to what we need in the Swiss francs. So that's something else we got to deal with. By the way, too, I haven't ordered the pouches yet. In the past, the pouches have been one of the few things that is done without any problems. Um, One other thing too is that it's usually easier to pay for them because they have an American bank. I think it's in Miami. This is Lucrin. The people have been doing it. They're a Swiss company. They're made in Switzerland, but apparently they have some kind of thing here in the U.S. Who knows how that's going to work out? But I'm hoping that that'll work out pretty well for us. It has in the past. So, I mean, once it looks like we're getting ready to, like a month or two before shipping is imminent, I'll order all of them, and then we'll have them because I want to wait for the very last on that. Uh, so that we're not spending something that we don't have to, and with the hopes that maybe some changes to the good will happen at the end of everything. Okay. Overall, looking at it, the only sort of fly in the ointment is Etude number two, getting the dials done or redone. Okay, that's the Air Zulu seems to be going along very well. Air Sutant seems to be going along very well. So we got certain things that are moving nicely. So but we just have to keep wood like a woodpecker on the E2 number two until they get done, and I'll try to stay on them without becoming. I don't want to become too much of an aggravation, but I want them to know that we let them know this has already been terribly expensive for us. Usually, that can be the prelude to a lawsuit when they start hearing things like that. And I don't want to imply that, and I certainly don't want to get involved in that. I mean, that would just really mess a lot of stuff up. But these guys have really screwed us around, and I'm not happy with it. And when I see Carrie the next time, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Okay, anything else? Anything you guys want me to take care of or look into between now and next time? Everybody good? Probably a little less than that, but that's about right. Michael, yeah, 60 sounds about right. Yep, that's about it. There were a few, the five pink ones and about the same number of burgundy ones never came back. The pink ones were fine, so that wasn't a problem. If we had decided that pink was okay, this would be way behind us right now. But we shouldn't have had to even though I ended up liking it, it's something we shouldn't have settled for. But here we are. Okay, anything you guys want me to look into or follow up on? Okay, well, anything new happens or comes up, I'll let you know. any kind of decisions we have, we can put up on for the polls and so forth. Graham, you're welcome, guys. All right. Have a great week. Oh, get your white suits out. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. And as you know, between Memorial Day and Labor Day, you can wear your white suits. Take care.